What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. And before we get things started, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring that bell so you're notified for your favorite team's preview video. Today, we have a 2023 season preview for the Purdue Boilermakers. Alright, so Purdue is coming off an 8-6 season that was very up and down in terms of consistency. They had a top 3 passing offense in the Big Ten a year ago, and that was due to former head coach Jeff Brom and quarterback Aiden O'Connell. Both of them are now gone as Brom took the head coaching job at Louisville. So in steps new head coach Ryan Walters. Walters was the defensive coordinator at Illinois last year, where he coached one of the top defenses in the entire country. Since he is a defensive-minded coach, his offensive coordinator hire was going to be a big deal and very important. He went out and got Graham Harrell from West Virginia, a very quarterback-friendly coach who has a nice system to work around. Harrell will have Texas transfer Hudson Card under center, and I think this is a very good pairing for both sides. A very experienced quarterback being coached by a coordinator who knows the ins and outs of the position. The strength of the offense will be the offensive line. This is a group who returns 4 starters from a year ago, and the one empty spot will most likely be filled by a senior. Implementing a new offense is a lot easier when you have a veteran offensive line like this, and the Boilermakers are pretty much set across the board at the position. Alongside Card in the backfield, they have Devin Maccabee returning after having a great freshman season, running for nearly 1,000 yards. His backup will most likely be former wide receiver switched to running back and Tyrone Trace Jr., who has some elite speed, and that's going to give them a huge boost in the backfield, having a dynamic athlete back there. And then speaking of receivers, they only returned 1 starter from a year ago, and that's why there's a little cause for concern and who's going to be catching passes for Hudson Card. The obvious number 1 target is still TJ Sheffield, but Jamal Edrin is a transfer from FAU who had some buzz around him during the spring, but I'm not sure what the expectation should be for him just yet. With that, let's just quickly switch it over to the defense. Alright, so defense will probably be the biggest problem just in terms of personnel headed into this season, but I think that's expected both from the fans and just the college football community. Outside of the pass rushers and newcomers at safety, it's going to be a big mystery of who's going to be the best players across this defensive unit. But up front, on the interior of the defensive line, they'll have to replace all 3 starters. An undersized and very inexperienced group is a call for concern, especially stopping the run. But like I said, they have their top pass rushers coming back in Nick Carraway and Kydron Jenkins. These 2 have to perform at a high level, and I expect them to do just that. And then on the back end, I think Coach Walters knew they needed help, so he used the portal to address that. Anthony Brown is a safety coming over from Arkansas who will fight right away for a starting job. He brings a very physical play style that Walters will find useful. Also, they bring in Braxton Myers, a former 4-star safety from Ole Miss, who I think will start immediately as well this season. These 2, along with returning senior starters Sanusi Kane and Cam Allen, should create a very solid safety group, and overall the defensive backs should be the heart and soul of this team. They'll also have to replace their 2 starting corners from a year ago, but the replacements are very productive guys. Jamari Brown had 3 interceptions last year, so that alone is very encouraging. And to end the video, let's just take a quick look at Purdue's schedule and then give them some reasonable expectations. Alright, so to start things off with Fresno State, at Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Wisconsin, Illinois, at Iowa, Ohio State, and then their bye week followed by a trip to Nebraska, play in Ann Arbor against Michigan, Minnesota, Northwestern, and then Indiana to end the season. Alright, so obviously the Big Ten will not be easy for this group, but they also have 2 ACC opponents in the non-conference. I'm not overlooking Fresno State because they're also a very good program, but I do expect Purdue to win that game. And with that, I think Boilermakers want to reach a bowl game, and if they're going to do so, they'd have to start no worse than 2-1. I say that because there is a scenario where they could very well lose 6 games in a row if things aren't going well. The middle of the schedule, starting with Wisconsin and ending with Michigan, is going to be very tough. The last 3 games are all very winnable and may decide the West Division winner. I think a realistic expectation for this group is 6-6 and making a bowl game. The offense will have to perform at a high level if they want to win big games. Let me know down in the comments, Purdue fans especially, what you guys think about this roster and your overall expectations headed into this season. With that being said, that's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Good luck to the Boilermakers this year. I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.